Breaking this afternoon, several workers shocked while on the job in Beaver County. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Erica Moke. 4 members of a roofing crew were starting their day at the job site in Rochester when a ladder they were holding came into contact with a live wire. Our Barry Pintar is at that job site right now. Barry, give us an update on this situation here.
Yeah, certainly one word that we can say here, Erica, is tragic. An absolute tragedy happened here today. So first, where are we? Rochester, Beaver County, as you mentioned. Behind me, you're seeing Grace Evangelical Lutheran Church. All right, there's a sign down here that says we are renovating for families, and what you're seeing at the top there is a rather large roof. What do we know? About 8 o'clock this morning, there were 8 roofers on that roof, a crew of 8. Police tell us that 4 of those roofers were trying to move one of those ladders that you're seeing there. You can see there are a lot of ladders. That's a very high roof. While those 4 hands, or 8 hands, I should say, of those 4 men were on that ladder, it came in contact with one of these lines that you're seeing right here. I literally just talked to a Duquesne Light spokesperson 60 seconds ago, and I was asking how much power are coming through these lines. He said much more than to the average home because, of course, these are the wires that supply electricity to an entire neighborhood. Well, because they came in contact with those wires, there is a severe shock to the 4 men holding that ladder. The rest of the crew called 911 immediately. EMT came, the police came. One of the first police officers on the scene was the sergeant of the Rochester Police Department. I spoke with her earlier to ask her exactly what did she see when she arrived on the scene.
There were 3 males down in cardiac arrest. Paramedics from Medic Rescue were working on them. 1 male had some burns and refused treatment, but officers and the medics and the fire department, emergency services worked on the victims for a while, and they were all transported to Heritage Valley Beaver.
All right, what you're looking at now is a ladder on the ground. We have seen investigators looking at that ladder all day today, or I should say all morning. So presumably that would be the ladder that was involved in this tragic accident. Also behind me, just so many people in this investigation. Duquesne Light is here. OSHA is here. Of course, police were here earlier. Now let's talk about investigation. Duquesne Light, OSHA continuing their investigation. Police telling us their investigation is finished. At this point, they're calling it a tragic accident. Now, the important question, what is the condition of these 4 men that were severely shocked in this horrible accident? I talked to Beaver Heritage Valley. They confirmed that the 4 were brought in. They won't release condition yet. But again, as you heard, when the police arrived, they were already getting CPR, 3 of them, 1 of them severely burned, also taken to the hospital. But as we stand right now, police investigation finished, just a tragic accident. Duquesne Light, OSHA investigation continuing here today. Erica, just a very sad scene on this very hot day, working on the roof. Not the kind of thing we like to report, but prayer certainly for these men and their families involved in this terrible early morning accident. Reporting in Beaver County, Barry Pintar, KDKA-TV News. Back to you, Erica.